copyright notices. If you wish to read, pause the video. The original videos are linked in the description down below. Enjoy. Alright then, so in this one we're going to be looking at 269 Gem and their interaction with police after giving him the middle finger. We'll get straight into this one because there's not much to say at the moment, but we'll get straight into this one and break it down. Let's go.
What was the middle finger about on the roundabout up there? Was there any need for that?
Well, is there any need to pull me over? Are you really that offended?
You've committed a public order offence.
Public order offence? Do you know how much I'm persecuted with public order offences at protests and stuff?
Okay, yeah, there's probably a reason for that, because when I was driving up that...
Alright then, so I said he's committed a public order offence for giving a finger to a police officer. So it's going to be using the Public Order Act of 1986, which is normally a Section 5 public order offence, as you know, because one's rioting, violence, affray, violence again, harassment, alarm and distress. So it'll be Section 5, harassment, alarm and distress, which is a person is guilty of an offence if he uses threatening or abusive words or behaviour or disorderly behaviour or displays any written sign or other visual representations which is threatening or abusive within the hearing or sight of a person likely to be caused harassment, alarm or distress. So we go through this one all the time. The key words is threatening or abusive. Personally, I don't think giving the middle finger is threatening or abusive. I don't think it's disorderly behaviour. And I personally don't think it's a public order offence. I don't know if you will agree, but I don't. But you'll have to let us know in the comments if you agree with my opinion on this. Secondly, I do think we need more protections. America's got the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, which cannot be prosecuted. We don't have that because there's stupid legislations like this in there. So we have to be careful, just in case we offend somebody when that's not what the legislation actually says.
Road, you've come down.
So you're offended by a middle finger, are you?
Well, I maybe not, but other people, members of the public, might be.
What? So you're saying? Do you know how pathetic you are? Pulling someone over for giving a middle finger?
Yeah.
As if, like, that doesn't happen every single day of the week. People don't like your gang. People do not like your gang, and you're going on YouTube, so well done.
Yeah,
So this officer's clearly admitted he was not offended, and nobody's obviously reported it, so why did he pull him over? I have no words for it, just to give him words of advice. Keep your words of advice to yourself, mate. Allow him on his way.
Fine,
Yeah, that is fine.
I can give 2526.
So why don't you go get a statement, yeah, from someone who's offended by a middle finger, and let me go to work?
No, go ahead. Well,
are you gonna let me go to work?
Yeah, I will do in a minute. But what I'm just saying.
So, am I being detained?
Yes, that's the vehicle.
Am I being detained?
No, you're not. But
well, I'm gonna go then.
At the moment, I'm checking your vehicle through.
Go for it.
So if it comes back, you're all good to go. But what I'm just saying
that's great. You're
you
fascist.
Just got to be a bit more mindful of the people around you, okay? So can you imagine if a member of the public seen that and then they wanted me to do something about it? You would then have to be.
Nobody's that pathetic.
Pardon?
Nobody's that pathetic.
Well, they may do. Can you imagine if there was a little kid with their parent and they saw you doing that? How would you think that they would feel?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
So why does officers like to run with hypotheticals when it benefits them? But when it doesn't benefit them, they like to know facts, and I can only deal with stuff which has happened or a fact has happened or something like that. But when they want to explain something, they always use hypothetical this, hypothetical that. But when you want to do it to them because of their stupid behaviour, it's, well, that didn't happen, this didn't happen. No, but hypothetically it could have happened, just like what they do to us.
Oh, pathetic. You shouldn't have that badge.
Job.
You shouldn't have that power. The power to pull over people for sticking a middle finger up. Yeah. Do you know what? When
so
people
stick to the offence.
Well,
sticking up your middle
yeah,
finger, public order.
okay. So
just being reasonable.
yeah, no. If that's an offence, I will send about 100 videos of people abusing me, sticking their fingers up in their car. Do you know what a police officer told me? What? They're in their own private vehicle. They're allowed to do that. So Yeah, so one of you's wrong.
You can
You can't make up your own. You can't make up your rules. It's one rule for one. Well, because I'm not a farmer.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
Okay then, son, we're back at section 5, public order. And he said, an officer told him it can't be an offence because he's in his own private vehicle. Right, so let's get one thing straight. It's not if you're in your own private vehicle, it's in a dwelling, and the other person has to be in a dwelling. So, as it says here, section 2 of subsection 2 of section 5, public order. An offence under this section may be committed in a public or private place, except that no offence is committed where the word or behaviour are used, or the written sign or other visual representation is displayed by a person inside a dwelling, and the other person is also inside that or another dwelling. A dwelling is a home or a building. So that's when a section 5 does not apply. A bit like that 14-year-old lass, or 16-year-old autistic lass what got arrested by West Yorkshire police by saying a grandma looks like a lesbian, or saying lesbian.
Well, it does with other police officers.
You could drive in a vehicle, sticking your middle finger up, committing a
at you.
offence at myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not offended. I'm just giving
Well
you
then.
advice, just to be a bit more careful.
Words of advice taken. Thank you very much.
Just think before you do
I understand.
it, because there's kids out there.
I understand that,
may get the wrong
and they're subject to a lot more. So if I was playing rap music right now and there were swear words in it, would you pull me over?
Some people might
That
be
is so
offended by that.
ridiculous. It shouldn't be about offence.
So it's got a good point now. The rap music thing. I play rap music all day, every day. Bugsy Malone, Mark Righteous, Eminem, 50 Cent, you name it, I play it. And I like to play the E-rated versions, which is the explicit versions, because that is what proper rap music is. And I don't have it quiet, I have it loud. When I'm not driving, I like my music loud. Just like when I'm on my motorbike, because the speakers are right next to me as it's loud. So, and I've never been pulled over, and if I was to be pulled over, I'd say the same thing. Well, can I go into a shop and buy it? Yes. So, why is it illegal for me to play it?
I know. I'm offended by so much. See that tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone here with dead bodies in their stomachs, that offends me. Okay. Killing 70 billion land animals every year, that offends me. But offence doesn't matter. It's the individual lives of those animals that I care about. I get persecuted. I know. I understood. Has my check been done? Because I'm going to be late for work. There's a check gone through. I can tell you I'm taxed, insured.
Yeah, that's fine. It's gone through. I'm just saying you just need to be
I understand.
aware of the people around you.
I understand.
Obviously what you're doing, okay?
Yep.
You seem like a nice chap. I've got no issues with you.
And this is why we need fundamental rights in thingy like America has with the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, the freedom of photography, freedom of press, I should say, not photography, as press. The fundamental rights which cannot be stamped on. That's what we need here. America, you can give the finger to a copper and they can't do nothing. You can do it to anybody and they can't do nothing because it's the First Amendment. We don't have nothing like that. Like you said, it's if somebody's likely to be caused harassment, alarm, or distress through your behaviour or your words. That's very open to it's open to a lot of discussion in it, because of what is that a reasonable person is likely to be, or is that just somebody which is likely to be? Because you have a lot of snowflakes, so you have to be very careful what you say, because a lot of people get very offended by the slightest little thing. So yeah, that's why we need some proper fundamental rights which cannot be stomped on.
I've given you my details. That's fine. You can stick.
You haven't actually. What's your
2526 PC Folger Window Police Station.
Oh, well done. Yeah.
No. Was just say be a bit more
that's
mindful
fine.
of the people around you when if you want to do that thing. by all means, if you hate the police, you hate the police.
I understand.
I'm never going to change that.
I understand. I'll tell you where I'm at. I'm an activist. I've been persecuted by the police. I've spent more time in a police cell.
You don't agree with it.
I'm going to court for after being unlawfully arrested. You know, I was assaulted by a Sergeant Russell, and my defensive reaction was, "Get the fuck off me, you Nazi." I'm going to court for that now. And that was defence. I can't defend myself physically against you lot because I will get beaten the shit out of. I'll be put in prison.
So that's a lie. You can't actually defend yourself against the police, but the likelihood of you getting away with it is very slim. If it's an unlawful arrest and your initial reaction is to lash out, but you cannot have your mind think about it. It's got to be an instant reaction to get away with self-defense. Self-defense only works if it's an instant reaction. It cannot be something where you allow yourself to think, have a second to think about it. But like I said, it's very unlikely for you to get away with defending yourself against a police officer, unless if you can prove that it was an unlawful arrest, and the arrest then is not an arrest, it becomes an assault.
So you're the only gang that I can't do anything about. And I'm sorry.
If you feel that way,
Yep.
but
Apology accepted.
Just doing my job. But I haven't been
Yep.
nasty to you, have I? I've been
No,
nice
but
and polite.
unfortunately,
Like you say,
it's a
you've got
uniform. It's just a reaction I have from the
lot of people
persecution
don't like
I've
that sort of
received.
stuff, but it was-
But yeah, due notice,
no, good.
and
You've got
I'll
your day,
I'll
just-
make sure there's no
you've obviously
children
got your
about.
views against us, and I appreciate everyone's got their views about us.
Yep,
Some
understood.
Are good, some are bad, but just be a bit more mindful when you stick your middle finger up and you're doing. That
Understood,
sort of thing,
but you got to understand, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure you've seen road rage on the road. People do all sorts, wanker
It was
signs,
just a bit uncalled
fingers.
for at that time, wasn't it?
I don't know you personally. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but when you wear that uniform, drive that car, I've got my views against you. So I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Obviously, you said it doesn't offend you. Good job for saying your
I
name.
don't care for animal activists, especially these vegan ones, which, like he is. I don't really care. You know what I mean? You want to be a vegan, you be a vegan. Don't tell me not to eat meat. I don't tell you not to eat meat, do I? Or not to eat veg. You do you, I do me. But I've got to agree with him here. Most people do not like the uniform, regardless of the person underneath that uniform. The uniform has created such a bad stigma for everybody wearing the uniform.
Station and badge number, because, you know, with, you know, Dave Carrick and that. Yeah, no, that's
Make
fine.
you a bit more aware of obviously things like that, and just
Yep.
just surroundings of people.
Understood.
Don't want you getting in further trouble for something it's a bit petty and doesn't really need.
Understood.
To be dealt with,
I'm in so much
elimination
trouble for
doesn't-
petty shit as it is. So
You don't need
like,
to do. Just
no.
be a bit more mindful about things that you do and your future actions. But
Understood. Well, good
talk.
talking to you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Alright then, so that's how that interaction ended. I think the officer went out of his way to pull him over because he gave him the finger and he didn't like him giving him the finger. If we all start doing it, it'll become normal and there'll be nothing they can do about it. That's just my opinion. I do like to push the boundaries when it comes to the police. I always do. But that's just my opinion. If you don't want to do that, don't do that. Please don't go out there and get yourself in troubles. I do not promote any bad behaviour towards anybody. But let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. As always, like the video, it does open YouTube's algorithm. And I'll catch you on the next one.